The king of the Vikings, Ragnar Lothbrok. Ragnar Lothbrok is believed to have lived in the 9th century, a period marked by upheaval, expansion, and daring exploration among the Norse people. His legend is preserved in medieval sources such as the saga of Ragnar Lothbrok, the tale of Ragnar's sons, Krakumal, and Saxo Grammaticus's Gesta Danorum. These texts portray him as a fearsome warrior, a legendary king, and a commanding leader of Viking raids. Though the exact date of his birth remains unknown, scholars speculate he was born in the early 800s. Little is recorded about his youth. According to Gesta Danorum, his story begins when he travels to Norway to avenge the death of his grandfather, slain in battle against Fro, a self-proclaimed Swedish king. The decisive confrontation unfolded on a windswept plain, where Fro's banners snapped in the frigid Nordic air. Ragnar, already a figure of both dread and admiration, led his seasoned Viking host onto the battlefield, eyes burning with ambition and the promise of glory. As steel clashed against steel, the field erupted into chaos. Warriors locked in brutal combat, faces twisted in grim resolve, the air thick with the metallic scent of blood and sweat. Amid the carnage, Lagertha emerged, a warrior woman of unmatched skill and ferocity. Her courage rivaled that of the mightiest male fighters, and her prowess left the entire army awestruck. It was Lagertha who played a pivotal role in securing victory that day, earning Ragnar's deep respect and admiration. Struck by her strength and beauty, Ragnar sought her hand in marriage. They wed and had 2 daughters, whose names history has lost, and a son named Fridleif. For 3 years, Ragnar enjoyed a rare period of peace, until he chose to divorce Lagertha to pursue Thora, daughter of the mythical Earl Herod of Gotland. To win Thora's hand, Ragnar had to slay a pair of venomous serpents terrorizing the land. He crafted a protective garment by stuffing a woolen tunic with hair, soaking it in water, and letting it freeze into a hardened shield. Armed with this ingenuity, he ventured into the beast's lair and slew them. Impressed, Earl Herod bestowed upon him the nickname Lothbrok, Shaggy Breeches, and granted him Thora's hand. The union produced 2 sons. Later sagas also recount a third wife, Aslaug, also called Kraka, a woman of extraordinary beauty and intelligence. Legend says Ragnar's warriors, resting by a river, were so captivated by her bathing in the clear waters that they let their bread burn. Intrigued, Ragnar summoned her, but set a riddle. She must appear neither dressed nor undressed, neither fasting nor eating, neither alone nor accompanied. Cleverly, she arrived wrapped in a net, nibbling an onion, with only her dog at her side. Enchanted, Ragnar proposed, but Aslaug, as proud and untamed as he, refused until he completed his campaign in Norway. Upon his return, she revealed her noble lineage, claiming descent from the dragon slayer Sigurd, and proved it when their son, Sigurd Snake in the Eye, was born with a serpent-shaped mark in his eye. Together they had 4 sons, Sigurd, Ivar, Björn, and Hvitserk. Tragedy struck when Thora died, plunging Ragnar into deep despair. He turned once more to war, declaring that every household must contribute its least capable son or weakest slave to his army, a reflection of his belief in Danish superiority. Driven by ambition and a desire for divine favor, he set his sights on Britain. He launched a devastating raid on Northumbria, killing King Haim, father of the future King Ella, and waged war across Scotland and Pictland. Victorious, he installed his sons Siward and Radbard as rulers of the conquered provinces. Yet rebellion stirred at home. A rival, Harold, rose against him in Daneland. Ragnar swiftly returned, crushed the revolt, and exiled Harold to Germany, executing all who had betrayed him. While pursuing Harold into Saxony, news arrived that the Swedes had crowned a new king, Sörl, or Saul, igniting civil war. Ragnar called upon his sons, Björn, Fridleif, and Radbard, who joined him in Sweden. King Saul offered a choice: full battle or single combat. Ragnar chose the latter, facing Saul's champion, Starkad, and his 7 sons. In a brutal duel, Ragnar and his 3 sons fought Starkad's band. Blood soaked the earth as armor shattered under relentless blows. Starkad and all his sons fell, sent to Valhalla. Björn, unscathed despite the slaughter, earned the epithet Ironside. Enraged, Ragnar then killed King Saul and annihilated his army, granting Björn rule over Sweden. After a brief respite and the birth of another son, Agnar, rebellion flared again in Scotland. Ragnar returned, launching a bloody campaign across Pictland and Scotland. Though victorious, he lost 2 sons, Dunva and Radbard, in the fighting. According to the Annals of St. Bertin, Ragnar later led a fleet of 120 longships up the Seine River, striking terror into Francia. King Charles the Bold, desperate to protect the Abbey of St. Denis, split his forces along the riverbanks. Ragnar overwhelmed one division, then executed over 100 Frankish prisoners in a grim sacrifice to Odin. His forces then descended upon Paris, a city unprepared for such ferocity. With no effective defense, the Franks paid a ransom of 7,000 livres to spare the city. On his return voyage, Ragnar's men sacked the Abbey of St. Bertin, leaving coastal communities in ruins. Turning once more to England, Ragnar and his son Ivar the Boneless sailed to York to confront King Ella of Northumbria, son of the king Ragnar had slain decades earlier. Ella's army was crushed, and Ragnar, undeterred, summoned his sons for a new campaign. The conquest of Ireland. There, he killed King Melbricht and besieged Dublin, reducing the city to rubble. But fate turned. Ella, seeking vengeance, lured Ragnar into a trap during a raid in England. The once mighty Viking was captured, imprisoned, and cast into a snake pit, a cruel echo of his early triumph over serpents. In his final moments, Ragnar faced death with defiance. Reciting his many victories, he declared that his sons would avenge him with a force greater than any seen since the Romans. His last words, immortalized in the 12th century skaldic poem, Krakumal, the Song of Kraka, ended not in sorrow, but laughter, imagining Odin welcoming him to Valhalla's feasting halls. Historians debate whether Ragnar was a single man or a composite of several Viking heroes. The sheer scale of his attributed exploits suggests a mythic archetype, the embodiment of Norse courage, ambition, and relentless will. Whether man or legend, Ragnar Lothbrok remains the quintessential Viking king. His name forever etched in saga, song, and blood.